Hello everyone, I'm CoolGuy, welcome back, and today I would like to talk about trace rifles in PvP. They're probably one of the most underused weapons in the Crucible, but that's for a reason. There are some negatives to using a trace rifle, and we can list off some of them. Number 1, they go through ammo quickly. Number 2, when you pick up bricks, they don't really give you that much back. Number 3, they always are going to take up an exotic slot. Number 4, their effective range is odd. It isn't close up, but it isn't far away. Number 5, you have to actively track your enemy when you're shooting at them. And number 6, they're kind of tough to pair other weapons with. So we're not really off to a good start, but when it comes to the positives, there are a couple, but there's one that really stands out. And that's going to be the main thing to take away from this video. They have an extremely good TTK for how you use them. They're brutal in 1v1s. And we'll kind of go through my recent experience, and my hope for you is to at least bring it out at one point during your quick play session this week. And I would imagine that they get fairly precise on PC, but I'm on console. I've been finding a lot of success with them. The TTK of these is undeniable, and they can compete. And I want to talk about them for a couple reasons. First off, they shred, plain and simple. You're getting that in conjunction with those negatives that we talked about. They're very good in a 1v1 versus any weapon, including meta weapons. And here's a couple clips of the coldheart just shredding in 1v1s. It's fast.
Enemy down. 2 for 1.
And another thing, there is another trace rifle coming with shadowkeep called Divinity. It was shown in the Bungie Vidoc. Its perk is Judgment, and it states that sustained damage with this weapon envelopes the target into a field that weakens and disrupts them. We'll get to that in a moment. This has potential because of the negatives. I'm going to be talking about coldheart and Prometheus mostly. I don't have Wave Splitter, even though I know it looks good. But first off, with these trace rifles, all of them have 100 aim assist, and that isn't tied to magnetism though, that's tied to reticle slowdown. So that means that the trace rifles are very, very sticky. And next, all of them shoot a straight beam. 100 recoil direction for the Wave Splitter, and the coldheart Prometheus has 90 for the stat line. They have a starting mag of 50, and bricks that you pick up depend on how much was used by your enemy and how much they had. I've picked up 18, 26, 34, even 50 rounds on a brick pickup. The main trace rifle that I want to talk about today is coldheart. I pulled this thing out and, like I said, I've been destroying with it. Its main perk is Longest Winter. This laser does exponentially more damage the longer it remains on target. Because of this perk, it can reach a TTK of 0.67 seconds, and that's the not forgotten TTK, the Luna TTK. And without the main perk, the TTK would be 0.73. You need 10 headshots and 1 body shot. Now, it has a body shot TTK of 0.93 seconds. That's the same as the Bygone's optimal time to kill. For you to hit that, it's 15 rounds to the body. But you won't hit that too often, because you should be able to hit the head at least a little bit. We have this wide range of 0.67 to 0.93, so your average TTK is going to hover around 0.8. And even then, that's with missing a lot of headshots. So you have a wide margin, it's kind of relaxed. I've found though, with its stickiness, you do get a lot of headshots with coldheart in these trace rifles, and your TTK is going to be sub 0.8. And when it gets below that 0.8, aside from things like the Last Word sidearms SMGs, it outshoots most weapons in the game. And you guys have been seeing in the gameplay, it does it with relative ease, it just sets people right down. And thanks to Mercules for the coldheart TTK at 0.67, because the first 6 headshots do 17 damage, the next 4 are 18, and after that you're doing 19 damage to the critical. They're done at that point if you've been tracking their head for that long. Again, 10 headshots and then you can go to a body shot. I've found that even though you go through a lot of ammo and you're constantly searching for it, I have been maining it for most of my games. Meaning that somehow, some way, I'm getting ammo for it. Enough to even get its magazine to max 100 and even have some reserves. And then using it for about 90% of my total engagements in that PvP match. So that ammo can be an issue, but most of the time, after you get the kill, they're going to drop a brick, you just go pick it up and keep going. And I'm okay with this being in an exotic slot because I won a lot of duels with coldheart, a lot of them. And if that means it takes up an exotic slot, that's alright, it is what it is. Now, the only real issue I have with it is that it's really tough to pair things with. It basically works within hand cannon range, it works within fusion rifle range, and that's probably the best way to describe it. The end of its effective range is just outside a deep Errantil shot. I've been pairing it with a hand cannon. I don't really want to double up on 2 energy weapons, taking energy ammo. It's fine with some loadouts like snipe fusion, but double energy with a trace rifle is a disaster. I've tried kinetic sidearms, pulses, SMGs, bows, they all can work, but for the most part, I found success with hand cannons and pulses. If you do have any suggestions, let's talk about it down below. They've gone through a couple changes. This last update, that was a while ago actually, helped their ammo economy a little bit, and it's definitely better now than it was the last time I played with these. They're currently in a decent spot. If they get a buff, they could be out of hand, if that makes sense. It's almost perfect. For me, the worst thing is finding something to pair it with, but I would think that most aren't going to be happy with the ammo economy. Coldheart's strong, but let's move on to the Prometheus Lens real quick. I think for a lot of you, the last time you brought this thing out was laser tag weekend. It has a 0.73 TTK, it does 15 to the head, 11 to the body. Its exotic perk is Prismatic Inferno. As you're hitting your target, it generates a damaging heat field that grows. It does burn damage that does 6 a tick. If you're accurate, Coldheart's going to be your best option, but the Lens has some forgiveness to it. When I was using it, it did okay, but Coldheart was a lot better for me. The area of effect, the AoE, is inconsistent. It's almost kind of buggy for me. But if you're hitting the body, you're putting the beam on them, you're burning them, it ends up working out. Still prefer Coldheart, and again, I don't have Wave Splitter. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think about that. But I do want to round this out and talk about the upcoming Divinity Trace Rifle with Shadowkeep. We definitely don't know how it works, but with what was said, what we've seen, and what the perk text states, it's that sustained damage envelopes a target in a field and weakens and disrupts them. Really interested how this is going to work out for the crucible. I wonder how much damage you're going to need to put the target in that envelope. And when you do, how exactly does that affect them? How long does it last? And does it work similar to like the Ikelos SMG? Basically, the disruption break perk. And with that one, remember breaking an enemy shield makes them more vulnerable to kinetic damage. With how the ammo economy works with trace rifles, you start with 50. This could be a really strong support weapon, really strong. Taking just a little bit of your ammo to weaken them, not necessarily finish them, to quote, disrupt them like the perk states. And that damage will get on them quick. The Divinity has the same RPM as all of these trace rifles. The beam's gonna look exactly the same. So say it takes 15 rounds to down an opponent like some of the other trace rifles. What if you only need like 7 or so to get that perk going? And if it does really well, if it makes them vulnerable, this could even have some competitive use in the competitive playlist. What do you guys think? Let's talk about it in the comment section. And again, if you haven't used trace rifles in a while, give them a shot in your next quick play session. They are really good, and I've been very surprised using them over the past 4 or 5 days. Just be sure to follow up your kills, go get that special ammo that they drop, and you'll be fine. If you would like to stick around, I do have a We Ran Out of Metal streak with Coldheart. And if you're new to the channel, remember to hit the subscribe button, like and comment if you guys and gals see fit. If you are subscribed, thank you so much for your support. When's the last time that you used a trace rifle? And what do you think about them? Let's talk about it in the comment section. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.
What can stop you if you fight together? Nothing. Zone A captured. Fought like a titan of the first pillar. Pulling ahead. Keep it that way. With you on the field. Zone B captured. Power play. Keep the pressure on. Zone A lost. Zone B lost. Zone A captured. Zone advantage is yours. Together as one. I love it. Zone C lost. Fire team that fights together stays together.